What is up, guys, and welcome to another All Things Grifball. I am the host, or one of the co-hosts, IX Gingy, again joined by Rage More Nerd.
Did you see
Say hey,
that?
Rage.
He was about to declare himself the host.
Just
Wasn't
let
gonna
it go.
happen. Well, yeah, wasn't gonna happen. Sorry.
Let it go.
Uh, also joined by D-Cleek.
Hello.
Just gonna do three quick topics again, kind of like always. Our first one's gonna be current team rankings and projections. Then we're gonna go over how our matchups went and who we played against, and then near the end of the podcast, you're gonna see a top 25 list. That way, you can kind of skip around towards middle, beginning, or end to find out which topics you want to hear about if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. So, uh, first off, we're gonna go with standings in our power rankings. I know my team went undefeated this week. D-Cleek, how did your team do?
We lost 2 games.
Sucks to suck, nerd.
Fuck
Did you
off.
win it all?
Well, we won 4 games before that, so yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Oh,
Not
so
too
you're
bad,
this
Rage.
4-2 team here, Apocalypse. So you guys beat the boys 5-1, 5-3, and
then beat
ascended.
Regressor. Yeah, beat Regressor, I think, like 5-3, 5-4. Something like that.
And then you guys lost to Zeg 5-1, 5-2.
Oh, yeah,
So
we got smoked.
very all over the place. Very surprised. I was very surprised to see Ascended lose like that. Because I had them pretty high in my rankings. I think I had them number 2.
I think a lot of people had them pretty high up. I don't think anyone expected how rough Tanker and Chip's transition to Halo 3 was going to be. I mean, just in terms of reach to Halo 3, I think that's a way easier transition than going from, say, Halo Reach to Halo 4
Yeah.
or any of the other newer games. So I thought they were going to bounce in and get pretty good pretty fast. Hasn't happened.
Yeah. Apparently, Tanker has been running.
Yeah, Tanker was running for a bit. And then I believe Regressor took it a few times, but mostly it was Tanker.
Well, Tanker has been known to be able to run the ball and reach too. He's not just a tank, so he can kind of do both. He was kind of a hybrid in reach, and he was okay with the bomb and reach. So it's probably one of the things where he was tanking so bad that Regressor felt that he was going to have a better chance to win with him.
Yeah, I don't know if I think Regressor just wanted a tank and gave it to Tanker. He felt like Tanker could figure out Halo 3.
That like really makes a big difference for me though. If Tanker's gonna be out there running, because I mean, when we played him, I played him in Reach. He seems so much more impactful as a tank. It just seems weird for him to all of a sudden to start running. And I mean, Reggressor's a great tank. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the highest potential of this team is with Regressor running and I see Tanker tanking. And if he's gonna be a runner, I mean, it kind of changes my opinions on things.
I mean, again, that was the first series for them, so it could all change. They haven't played a game since.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they play, they lost the first 2 games, whatever. I mean, I'll give.
It's still early.
It's an early thing, but I mean, that's why I'm thinking the Icy Tanker running thing is more of a concern to me. Like, is that going to be a long term something that's going to happen more than once? I'm just.
Well,
not sure.
I gotta say this. They gotta. Your 0-2 is way better than 0-4, right? Like you get to that 0-4 point, and you're already at a point where you're like, wow,
you're at a crossroads.
We cannot lose very much anymore because that could be season over really early.
Is that a shot at Didge?
That's a shot at Didge, Saints, Silva. You know, they all started out like that. We got 3 teams who were all ranked pretty high. A lot of the later captains, actually, all starting off pretty rough. So. But again, going back to Ascended, going back to Aggressor's team, you could definitely tell what, D-Cleek said is true, that Icy Tanker's got a 26-second average life, whereas Regressor's only got a 16. You could tell that Icy Tanker's been holding onto the bomb more.
Yeah.
But yet he has less goals than Regressor, so it's not working out. So hopefully, they adapt and they get back pretty quick, but until they do, they're going to be one of our lower ranked teams. But I feel like this is probably going to be easier to start from the bottom.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because we kind of got those teams that are really, really struggling. So we could put both of our 0-4 teams down there first. Or do we have multiple? Yep, we have Team USA and Final Boss.
I haven't played either, so I don't know how they played. So
Team USA is going to be Dig's team, and did we already
I can tell you about that.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about them?
we played them just or 2 nights ago, and Digital was running to start as they intended to. I think it was either round 2 or it maybe even like mid round 1. Digital stopped running, and they gave the ball to Martin, and Digital started tanking next to Fancy and missed. We won that. We started slow. We were down 3-1. We came back and won 5-4. And then they came in game 2, swapped out Mist for Sonic, and we wiped them in about 5 minutes. So again, Dig seemed to give up running pretty dang quick, and I think again, as like you said, you don't want to go 0-4, so they kind of went back to Digital tanking right away to avoid the hole. It didn't work out. And now if they're going to go with Digital tanking going forward, then it's kind of the worst case scenario thing that I was worried about at the beginning, where
Dig had the first pick in the 3rd round, took Mist over a Killers or any of the runners that went 3rd round. I can't really remember. I think Nihilus went 3rd round, and he's blowing up with Ace Spence's team and Demon and Soul. So,
and it's not like Mist did bad. She did good. She was very difficult for me to kill, especially. She was playing very passive.
Well, and she fits the dynamic of their team. She's such an aggressive tank, but it's also same thing that we're saying about Corn Chips and Icy Tanker. She just got a PC. She just started playing Halo 3. It's probably going to be a while before she really gets on pace and gets everything figured out.
Yeah.
And they're already 0-4, so I think we put Dig's team last, just off the fact that they got a lot of room to grow. They got a lot of things they need to do. And doesn't mean it's necessarily over.
And I don't think they even know who they're gonna have running. So I'm just gonna throw out my my dress trade suggestion that I had early in the preseason. Yes. Do you object to putting your Team USA at 11th?
I haven't played either of them, so I have no opinion.
Yeah, there they are. Actually, let me move this over so I can put the records to the side. Who else did they play that they lost to? They lost to Ace Spence, 5-2, 5-2. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
Or A in the Spences, I think, is technically the team name.
Yes, fantastic team name.
None of us were there for that, so we don't know really how that went. I know they were streamed. I didn't get to watch them. I was working, so.
I don't know. I got to stream their first games against Final Boss.
By the numbers, it wasn't close.
I'm just saying, it really goes to show how important a 4th is, because I think if this team has Nihilus or Killers, they're 4-0 right now. Right? I think it's a completely different dynamic to the team.
I'll disagree with the 4-0, but I would agree that they would be a lot better.
I don't know if maybe they beat A in the Spences, but A Spence and the boys or whatever the hell their team name is, but they definitely have a better chance of being undefeated right now than with their current setup. So the other 0-4 team is Saints' team. We played them just a couple nights ago. We beat them 5-4 on Sam's host, which is tragic. And then we beat them, I think, 5-2 on the other host.
Yeah, 5-2 on Nihilus host. I got it right here. I got the scores.
They're such a hard team to rank, right? Like in scrims, they were destroying us. They played us 10 games. They beat us 9. We beat them the final game, and then we get to this actual game, and they weren't that good.
No,
right?
Even they got trashed on opening night to A in the Spences, 5-0, 5-0. On hosts on the completely opposite sides of the country.
Right.
I think it might be the lights and then the connection. They're just not feeling it. And a lot of those players, if they don't feel it, it's not going to be good for them.
Right. Well, in that I think you reached on Corn. I really do. I think there were better second players to help your team come along. And not that he's a bad player. He played pretty decent. But as far as it goes, do you take a runner in the 2nd round, or do you wait and you take a better tank? You could have taken Fancy, or you could have taken Cannon or Diablo, or all those other people. or BCK, who a lot of people consider the best runner.
The question becomes, could like get, if you're lucky, you get coordinates in the second, right?
Right.
Could
it have happened? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Could an addition cannon basically taking away a tone, because a tone's not going to be your third. Right. Could the replacement of cannon to a tone, or Francis to a tone, or Diablo to a tone, could any of those have been an upgrade?
Yeah.
Enough to cause them to not be 0-4.
Yeah.
I think so. And I think Rebs when you passed on that first round extra tank help, you don't want to take someone like Rebs who's prone to dying. He's more of a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't really going to help your offense.
The best teams right now are the ones that have really strong 1-2 duos and then a mid draft runner.
Yep.
Pretty much. Like my team is doing, we're 5-1. We're doing really well with me with Dor as our he was our second pick. But then we have Zim as a captain, so it's different.
Yeah, but you had Zim Rage.
We already had our tanking duo.
The middle round teams are doing great right now.
Yeah, because you got Demon and Star.
You also didn't risk too much on your fourth. You picked Jaga, and then you took one of the pups and Scarhead.
Oh, dude, Scarhead's a monster.
And then now you're you got lucky that he's good, or good-ish.
Right. Yeah, I'll get into Scar when we start ranking my team, but yeah, I mean, the only other team that could possibly go below final boss would be the boys at 1-5, but I kind of don't want to do that.
I think that their games are going to be very close. I'm just watching the boys, because I've gotten the opportunity to watch 4 of their games. For one, they're the elite squad, which is annoying, but I just think that they're going to be a very, very close team.
Who'd they take the game off of?
Galvin and the Chipmunks. They split those games 5-3, and then the boys lost to Apocalypse Ponies and Zeg's team, and they got 10-0'd by Zeg's team.
Oh yeah, but to be fair, not to make excuses, but to be fair to the boys, we did just play an hour fucking long game.
Right before that?
Yeah, right before that. We played an hour.
Man,
they literally jumped
over.
I'm just
saying, you're warm then. Right? Like, you should be warmed up and ready to go.
Nobody in their right mind went to play an hour of Grifball. Get that shit out of here. Honestly, it's one thing if it's multiple games, but if it's one straight game, fuck that.
Right, and it's a different opponent, which throws you off because you've just been tanking for an hour against the same people, and now you got 4 new faces to learn. So yeah, that could be something to do with it, but I mean, they still started off 0-4. They still put their season in jeopardy, and now they're 1-5. At least they started moving the right direction a little bit. 1-1 is not bad, but
yeah,
right. But did they start that trend too late? If they go 1-1 for the rest of their series, are they in playoffs? I don't think so.
I think if you come out and they win 2 games and then they're 3-5. I mean,
I still think they can pick up games because they still haven't played USA. They haven't played boys.
They haven't played
boss.
They haven't played us. They haven't played a ton of people that they could beat for sure.
Yeah. So then they got, apparently at least Silva was semi-serious the next day about custom and shit like that.
Wake up calls.
Yeah. So God only knows that they're all Halo 3 veterans. God only knows what they can do once they get serious and start playing. Now, is it too late to capitalize to be a top team? Yeah, but just make it the playoffs and then play the tournament, see what happens.
Right. I see a lot of negative numbers on their team. I see Silva at +50. El Diablo, which was his first pick, is -3. Tad Neptune's -109. He's really struggling.
Wasn't that the second round pick?
Yeah, that was the second pick.
Yeah, that they really
he had 2 second rounds.
That around.
Again,
people are saying that he's playing good though.
He is, right? He's had some great plays.
Right, he's got a lot of stops. He's got the most stops on his team with 25.
I think he might have the most stops in the league right now at 25.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
Oh, again, they've also played 6 games, so totals don't really mean all that much to me, but...
Right, and he does. I'm looking at it right now. He does have more than everyone else. Alpha Turtle in 6 games has 24.
I have 23 and 5.
They're pretty up there in game time.
So yeah, I mean, I consider D-Cleek's team a good defensive team, with Goat, D-Cleek, and they all got in the 20s. So he's definitely right on pace to be, right up there with all the best carrier kill numbers.
Yeah, I think...
But is that enough is that enough for a second round pick who needs to be, someone that's helping them win games? Is he doing enough tanking wise, running wise?
To me, to go back to the boys, it depends on who's running. Like, I would want Rockies to play like Silva plays sometimes, but like not punch happy as sometimes Silva gets, but a little more aggressive. Like that was the big issue we had. It was like when Silva had the ball, we were all like, okay, Silva's gonna come punch, be ready, be ready. When Rockies had the ball, it was like Rockies probably not punching anybody, so just chill.
Which, and their team shows that. Their team is spread out. El Diablo has a goal, Silva has 2, Tad has 3, and Rockies has 6. So the ball has been passed around.
Yeah.
Or there's been cleanups.
There was a literal point in our game where I think RDG punched Rockies 6 times only because Silva went and punched him like 8 times earlier. And that was, it was just like every time Rockies spawned, pop. Every time Rockies came to the line, pop. Because Silva did the RDG. And he was just like, nah, you take me out, I take your friend out.
Right. Well, it's concerning to me, though, that Rockies is probably the main runner on this team and somehow has 30 more kills than Tad. Which...
Also, Tad, they play the same games 5. I think the issue is more Tad's also a bit laggy. So sometimes
I guess Tad's played less time, which is fair.
He's semi like, I don't want to say like it's hurting him, but it does look like there was parts where I killed him from super far away on even the East Coast host. I don't know what part of the country he's from, but like I killed him from far away, and I was like, well, that's not good for him, because it's just like you want a consistent like feel for your deaths and your kills, and if he's slightly laggy around, it's not going to be consistent for himself to get better and better and better.
Right.
And they're fifth too. Aware Mosquito, he's played 2 games. I think he might have the lowest KD per minute in the league right now, aside from Sonic, who has like a couple of very skewed games.
59,
we won't talk. Yeah, that's not great.
I
but
think the issue
negative
is
1.48. Oh no,
I think
corn chips there too.
I think Aware, if he wants to play the 4th on the team, needs to get away from the sword.
Yeah.
Like, especially if your team's not, like, if Tad's going negative 100 in 5 games, you need to step up because he's already negative.
Specifically that team, they already have people going mass negative. You cannot add to the problem. Is what I would like to say. You have to be alive.
Or if you are gonna use your sword, you gotta make sure you're trading every single time you're doing it at minimum, or chaining.
Right, getting takeaways, making plays. You can't just have a sword out and dying. Right, especially on a host you're struggling with. Like, if you're struggling, do your best to just stay alive and at least help the team in that sense. But back to the topic.
Who are we putting at 10?
Do we think the boys are better than Final Boss or worse?
I think the boys are
right now, I would probably go the boys. I don't doubt that Final Boss could leapfrog them pretty quick, because I just think that they have the most growing pains to get over. But as of right now, I would probably go the boys at
Final Boss
9.
is number 10 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so Final Boss is number 10. The 2-0-4 teams, bottom of the league, that makes a lot of sense. I think, that leaves the boys as a clear number 9. They're the only 1-5 team. That's a rough start. But, hopefully it looks up for them. Number 8. So here's where we got a few options. We can go with the 0-2 team, which would be Ascended, or we can go 1-3 with Galvin and the Chipmunks.
Or Team Rocket at 1-1. Wait, who's Team Rocket?
That's Beam's team with Hacker.
Oh yeah. So their games were against us, which were pretty much whichever host. Yeah, it was entirely host dependent.
On both sides, right? That's what I heard.
Yeah, it went 5-1 to 5-0.
Yeah. From their win.
And if they beat you that handedly, I'm not willing to put them at the bottom of the leaderboard. You're a pretty good team, and they beat you 5-1.
Oh.
They beat them 5-0, and then they beat them 5-1. Because I made the joke to Halfreed that you lost the battle, but you won the series by scoring a goal.
Okay, so they have the tiebreaker against you.
Technically, yes.
So yeah, I'm not willing to put them all the way at 8.
No.
Which means I'm probably gonna go with Ascended.
I want to put Galvin because I still think there's a lot more potential on Regressor's team.
I would 100% also go with Galvin, not because I think they're not good, but like you had the first overall pick 2 rounds in a row, basically first, and he traded up again to get Cannon in the first.
Right.
And
I thought that was a mistake when you had, a BCK and so many other people there.
Yeah.
I think he could have gotten Cannon anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I think they're more closer to 8 now.
I feel like the ceiling of that team's a lot lower.
Well, I kind of said it early. I don't have as much faith in this team, in Priest's team, as other people do, because you still have to have Priest or Noplex out there, right? Which means that you're really, really relying on Galvin and Cannon to do everything until Noplex gets his feet under him and gets used to the game.
Honestly,
or if Priest isn't showing up to every game,
we played them. We played them twice, and Noplex was doing just fine.
Was he?
Yeah, he was doing good. He was doing just fine. He had some really good moments.
I think the bigger issue isn't like individual. I think it's more team chemistry. Like that's a eclectic group of people. That's Cannon and Gav aren't necessarily like a similar type of player enough to play off each other.
No,
I mean, the Cannon's negative 51 in the season, and you need your second best player. I mean, you're looking at second best players like Diablo, who's on a struggling team, but he's only -3 with a lot more kills. You've got, BCK, who is a really, really effective runner as a second on the team. You've got Men's, who's more positive and has more kills than me. Like, those are all people you could have gotten, but you chose Cannon, right? You need Cannon to be that level of player then.
And for all the built-in chemistry between Priest and Cannon, they only tried to launch against us once. Granted, it worked because RTDS garbage, but I mean, they only went for one launch.
I think, chemistry-wise, it's a bit weird, and I think that hurts them a lot more than just the raw talent they have.
So, do we think this team is better with Sam in the lineup or Sam out of the lineup? Because he's played 2 games.
I don't think it matters.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play.
I think that
they're 1-1 with him in the lineup, and 0-2 with Noplex. Which is why I ask: are they better with Sam and Noplex sitting?
Now the question is: are they better with Sam, or do they need to replace Priest with Noplex as well and play Sam and Noplex?
I think that's right.
Yeah, was it simply a matchup issue?
Who's gonna run though? Does Sam run?
I mean, it's
Noplex is not gonna run.
Grab the ball.
Noplex is not gonna run.
Stats-wise, Sam had 1 goal in the 2 games he's played. So it looks like Priest was running the whole time.
That could be anything. Yeah, Priest is their definite runner. But if Priest is not in the line, because Priest is plenty comfortable going out and tanking for a while.
Right. They split the series against the boys. They went 5-3 win, 5-3 loss, all on AJ's host. I don't know if they switched lineups mid-game or how that worked out.
I know the boys switched lineups. They got one of the or Mosquito games.
Yeah.
Was it the first game? Because they won the first game. It looks like.
Second game.
All right, just move things on. I'm putting Galvin's team at it.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
They.
Oh boy. I don't even know how that happened. Why does this keep happening? Jesus Christ! There we go. Their name's too long. Jesus Christ! There we go.
Yeah. So I think they finish. Figuring out Galvin's team finishes figuring out the way their roster is going to play, and they'll start to do a little better. Ascended is just a big question mark. I think we have them a little high as of right now, as of what we've seen out of Corn Chip.
I can't put any of them lower though. Like these teams have all played multiple series and have all lost extra games. Ascended's had one bad series.
They played both Ascended and the boys, and they're both slogfest. But no one was as good in either of those games as Sab was against us, so I could give it to Ascended slightly higher.
I can see the team of Regressor and Sab just turn things around.
I mean, I can see Regressor wanting to win and holding the ball, and getting the other people to tank, and maybe not tank like well, but just enough to help Sab do what Sab does. And Regressor's a good enough runner to get things moving and get some wins.
Sure. Okay, so we think Ascended still has a shot to turn around.
Yeah.
Now we get to the middle of the pack, give or take, with an odd number of teams. 7.
Team Rocket.
This is where it gets tough. Yeah, Team Rocket.
Because we can't put my team and the Spences are.
I mean, you can put my team there.
I'm kind of pretty content. I feel like these 3 teams need to go top 3. Just because of what they're playing.
I mean, you can put my team there because we're 2-0, and the only team we've beaten is the 10th place team. And Team Rocket's actually beaten a top 3 team.
I don't know how serious I want to. I don't know how serious I want to take that win. As a team that lost to him, just given again is like the host disparity was
too, but then it takes away one of your.
Just like I'm not putting your wins. Like I don't want to take too much off of either game.
Is it possible that either of those hosts could be played in playoffs though? Because that matters.
No. I mean, not if we play each other in playoffs. We're just gonna.
You're gonna veto.
We're probably just gonna veto those 2 hosts.
Okay. Because that's gonna be a big thing if you have to play on them in playoffs, anyways.
Yeah. Like this is the
sucks. Suck.
Outside, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you can tell the 2 hardest teams to rank right now are the 2 teams that have only played 2 games.
2 games.
Yeah, except for your team. But at least you're 2-0, so there's like more confidence around that.
Yeah, but we won 5-4 against Final Boss.
I will say from that one, the takeaway from that series is Halfreed was definitely the right choice at number 1. Like holy goddamn hard carry that was.
Yeah. Halfreed's very good. I think so too.
I mean, between your Junkyard Dogs, I mean you.
So we just. Honestly, it just comes down to lineup then. I mean, who do you think's team is better? Do you think a lineup of Beam, Halfbreed, BCK, and who played Grunt?
Right. I think you and Men's.
Tommy and Mencott?
I think you and Men's is a better combo than Halfbreed and BCK. I guess. Like I feel like that Team Rocket's really missing a second tank. Beam. I mean, it's only 2 games, so I need to see more out of Beam before I put this team any higher.
I mean, honestly, just looking at our games back to back, we played an hour, they played 45 minutes. We're beating them in every statistical category by enough. Kills, goals allowed, KD.
I mean, just put Team Rocket there.
Stop. So yeah, I'm going to put...
Since I was in the game, I do want to make a point, though, because Grant Padre played those games. He's probably going to be their 4th. Grant Padre was putting up some big kill numbers. Like he was doing really well.
Yeah.
So like we had a big question mark on who their 4th was, and I think it's going to be Grant Padre based on that series alone.
I mean, I think they're still going to try out the other 2.
As they should.
But most likely it's going to be Grant Padre, at least in my opinion.
Right. He played. Yeah. I mean, looking at his stats, he had a lot of kills. He had some stops. He had double kills.
Yeah, I think it's fine to put Team Rocket there at 6. Or whatever, just because you don't have enough information. We're not saying this is definitive. This is just rankings at this time.
Like that makes sense.
Data for them.
The 6 and 7 team, we need to see more from them. We need more games.
There's not enough data yet.
Yep.
That's our takeaway. So,
I am very happy with the way Men's played though. Like if he plays that way all season, we're a much better team than I thought.
You're gonna be scary to deal with.
So now we need to decide. You got to decide between your teams. 4-2, 2-0.
Team 5.
Who did you play? Who's your 4-2 against? The boys.
First series was Regressor 2-0, then the boys 2-0, and then we lost 0-2 against Zaps.
That's Zeg.
Yeah, Zeg. I'm down. I said I'm down. We haven't beat anyone in the top end, so I'm down to put us 5.
Yeah, but I mean, Gingy's team beat Final Boss.
We have, which is 10. You know, you beat...
Flip a coin time.
We're going to go back to who do we think has a better lineup. And I think I'm going to favor Gingy's team. I just like that Gingy Men's duo right now.
Call it.
Who else is on your team, youth league?
It's me, J-Bar, RDG, Conra, and Turtle.
J-Bar's plus 57. Everyone else is negative.
Dude, I'm negative 11.
J-Bar's popping off. And D-Click get negative 11 after 6 game ain't bad.
This dude, RDG's running. He's got 10 goals.
Yeah, I also have 533 kills. 100 kills a game.
God damn.
Come at me.
So your games take forever is what you're saying?
No, that 1 hour game gave me 235.
Yikes.
Yeah, so It's just throwing out numbers is bullshit. But I've averaged a good amount. I think potentially we are good, but I would rather have Gingy's team ranked higher than us.
I don't know if I do. I want to be ranked higher than you.
Well, I mean, I'm looking. What I see is a team.
Listen, no, just to keep it fair, we were ranked 10th in everybody else's season shit. Mm-hmm. So just put us at 5, and put the team that has 2 more wins than us at 4.
Okay.
And because we still made a jump from 10 to 5, that's still a good jump. I'm okay with that. Oh, you put it backwards.
Yeah,
you put it backwards.
That's the way I want it. Leave like that.
Oh.
Switch it. Flip. Yeah, there you go. Flip it around.
Wait, who's going 5th?
Junkyard's 5.
Okay.
We're 5.
And then we're 4.
Did it. They're gone.
Also, don't forget to take away Team Rocket too. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would like to. I think we're playing Rage next, which should be a good matchup. But I really want to play your team, Gingy. Because I think that's a really interesting match for us.
That'll decide the rankings pretty easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, KD-wise, to play your team.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go ahead with my prediction and say that Gingy's team wins.
Okay.
I don't know if we win, but I'm gonna go positive.
Go positive, yeah.
And I'm probably gonna score a goal or 2, because I don't know how it's gonna work out for our team running wise.
No,
all right. Now for the top 3 teams.
3, I'm stuck because I don't know if it's Rage or Zaps.
I think you got to go with the one lost, mediocre at best. Sucks to suck. You're the only one with an L.
Well, hold on. Let's. I want to see who everyone's played. I know A and the Spencers, they destroyed Final Boss opening night.
I think A and the Spencers are number 1.
Yeah, without question, I think A and the Spencers are number 1.
See, like I agree. Going into the season, we had them at first anyway. But the funny thing is that they're 0-4 against teams that we have 10th and 11th right now.
They're 4-0, you mean?
They're 4-0.
Yeah. What is that?
Not 0-4. You said 0-4.
Oh, yeah. They're 4-0 against the 2 teams at the bottom of our rankings.
I just think matchup-wise, they're the best team.
We almost lost the Final Boss. One game, 5-4. It was Sam's host, and we all hate Sam's host. But they didn't. Like, they 5-0'd him twice. No contest, rolled through him.
But and also, Zeg's team, they 10-0'd the boys, and then they 5-1, 5-2 Apocalypse Ponies, who we have 4. And then we played Team USA 11th, Galvin's team 8th. I forgot who the other team. Oh, and then we split with Team Rocket. No, goddamn, these teams need to play each other.
Yeah,
right. I think it's A Spence's first.
1.
Yeah, I'm
Zap
fine with
second.
them going 1.
Zap's second, because those 2 teams need to play. And then I think it's mediocre.
Yeah, the issue is like I can see that because the Rage team has a loss, but even though we got our ass kicked by Zaps, it was like the Ace. It was a silent show. It was just him like doing stuff we weren't expecting.
I'm telling y'all, Ace is a fucking
No, I know
god.
how good he is. We talked about it the entire time, and then it was just like
people just didn't. It's literally the classic League effect. Was Kid Tonga good because he was playing with Snipe Down, Ace, Be Silent, and Gingy? Yeah, of course he was. It's not like Tonga's bad. It's just he had people around him.
Yeah.
Putting up better stats. Like
I'm fine putting my team 3rd. I'm just not. I think we'll beat them when it comes to it. When do we play?
Wednesday.
We play Wednesday. Ooh, okay,
yeah.
That's fine. They can have that spot for now. And then
Dark has school on Wednesday.
Wait, what?
Dark goes to class on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna play Wednesday. Never mind.
Yeah. Maybe
we'll figure it out. Either way, they can have that spot because they're still undefeated. But when the time comes, we're gonna smack them.
Tells them to message us and so you can reschedule it to like Tuesday or even Thursday.
Yeah.
Probably Tuesday.
But yeah, so at the moment I'll consider 2 and 3 interchangeable. Same with 4 and 5, and 9 and 10. There's a lot of
until we start playing each other, like there's no real fucking data points are too small to actually like make decisions on.
Right.
More to
and
come.
this is gonna change a lot as the season goes on. Most teams have played 6 games at the most, so tons of games left. How long's the season? 20 games?
20 games. A lot of games ago.
So we're not even a quarter of the way done.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, we're exactly a quarter for some teams.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
They're a third.
Stay in school, kids.
Just under.
Yeah.
6 games is not a.
I would say
very many. It's like 33%.
I would say keep the rankings like this, Rage, on the sheet, and then we'll just make another one next to it.
Yeah.
That way you can see the progression throughout the year, or it's not the year, but throughout the season.
Yeah, I'll go find the ones we did for week 1 too, and I'll put them aside.
That way we can see the changes, like see hot streak, who won the coach streak.
Our podcast rankings compared to everybody else's voted rankings were way off. We weren't even close to what other people thought.
Dude, so. they had Galvin and the Chipmunks 1. It was rigged.
Priest like 2.
It was like completely rigged.
I was saying, I don't know.
Silva was like 4.
In the benches, not first.
Let me find these real quick.
Yeah.
They're what? They're making community content. They're gonna be
I really don't know how you don't have the A in Spence's team first. That's just like 3 tanks and a dedicated runner.
Oh, actually, they have week 2 also. Let me pull up. I think the week 2 wins.
Well, hopefully week 2 gets a little more accurate.
I haven't actually looked at these yet. Where's week 1?
I still think our team's number 10.
I'm trying to find week 1. I can't find them. Hello? Also, I just see a bunch of voting.
Well, and see, like, people here still have Team Rocket at number 2.
Is this it?
Yeah, see, Priest.
Yeah, here we go.
I had Priest and Galvin like 9.
We had them low.
Yeah, and everybody put them first. You're smoking crack.
Oops, that's not right. Here we go. All right, yeah. So,
but then again, you're dealing with more people putting votes in.
Let's just go through these real quick. So yeah, they had Priest at 1, which was ridiculous. Demons 2, which is fine given that happened. Beam and Halfreed's team, it remains to be seen. They've only played 2 games.
Right.
And Silva's team was really high. They
still rank second.
Yeah, Silva's team was really high. That dropped significantly. My team went up just a tad. 1 first place vote. What the fuck? They got 6. Yeah. God, that's rigged. I refuse.
I don't understand. It's got to be teammates.
Their full team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think their team's got to be.
Yeah. Digital's team dropped significantly. Or Aggressor's team was. I mean, actually. So I mean, they stayed exactly the same.
Around the spot, yeah.
Again, only 2 games. Who the fuck is Icy Tanker? That's your. Yeah. Alpha's team dropped a bit.
Expected, yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest jump. 6 spots.
Yeah.
And then our team jumped 5.
This was fairly accurate.
Hey, they went up 1. Good for them.
They did.
Woo!
And then in week 2, all is right with the world with A and the Spences going back to the first spot. Team Rockets at 1-1 jumped up to 2. I'm gonna go ahead and question that one. We're up 3, which is exactly what we have. My team, Apocalypse Ponies 4. We have that also.
Yep.
People still believe in this, although I'm not sure when. I think more games happened since this, so these are still gonna be a little outdated.
Yeah. And I don't know how much
still
because people had Galvin and the Chipmunks as number 1. I don't know if they could lose that much faith that fast to think that was going to be the best team, and now think they're going to be one of the worst.
Yeah. See, look, they didn't even play a game yet when this was done, so these are already outdated.
Right.
But they still ended up last anyway. But oh well, we'll see how week 3 comes out.
Yep. All right. So for the next part, and to probably wrap up this podcast, we're going to do a top 25 list.
We have our top 25 lists.
Yeah, we already have
these are
all of our separate top 25s.
Again, done relatively quickly.
Yeah, so. Fair warning, these were done like an hour ago.
20 minutes.
So
20 minutes, yeah.
These are plenty subject to change. There's some pretty wide spreads here. Like I think Star I had as low as 17, and Death League had him as high as 7.
Woo.
I had 10. I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, so let's just go down each of our lists. Number 1 was unanimous. We all think it's Half-Breed.
That man hard carry. He showed up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's KD monster.
He's
Just
popping
let him
off.
go kill things and he'll be fine. That's what he's been since like I can remember.
For forever, sure.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty unanimous. He's probably the best tank in the game right now, at least true KD wise. I don't know about overall impact on the game. Is he the best player?
We'll find out when he plays more games.
I have to play him again because, like, I mean, last time I played him, his team wasn't necessarily the best.
Right. Okay. So number 2, Rage and I agree. It's Galvin. The man just gets a lot of kills. He goes positive.
Mm-hmm.
He betrays though. He's got his flaws.
Sure.
That's why I put him at 3, not 2.
He saved us a couple goals with some knockups and betrayals of his own runners. So yeah, that's kind of why I have him at 2 instead of 1.
For as good as he is,
he's still a monster.
He does cause a lot of issues.
Sure. He could backfire. He's got awareness things sometimes. Sure. But digital at number 2, you think so? After the way he started out this season?
Even if he's playing garbage, we're taking like player individuality, like skill wise, yeah. Digital can keep up with the tanking line. Maybe not as aggressive as you or Galv, but he can generate kills as normal. Maybe the best defensive tank.
He's a nightmare to get through when he's just standing there.
Yeah, like he might be the best defense tank in the game, and I mean he's not as well rounded as other players, but he can do stuff like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I put him down at a 6 as punishment for committing to the run and then immediately giving up on it after like 1 or 2 rounds when he played my team. So this is what he gets for that.
I mean, you didn't punish me. I committed to running before the season started, and then I gave up on it before the season started.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you did what you were supposed. Well, you kind of went back on it, but you have a season proven running. You're fine as a runner. Digital did that when he was the last pick in the draft. He should not have been the last pick of the draft. Dude is gonna run the entire season.
Right.
Runner Digital just guinea pigs his teammates and steals KD.
Plus, he easily could have picked up one of the better runners in the game.
He could have.
In the 3rd round and won the season.
It hurt his team that he committed the roster to him running and then didn't run against almost the entire series.
Yeah, just as an individual player though, like D-Cleek was saying, I can't rank him lower than 3rd. But in your 3rd spot, Rage, we have our first Ace Be Silent spotting.
Oh yeah, Ace is
monster.
The fact that that Zeg's team is up here at 4-0 right now, and with 4 very, very dominant wins, that is clearly the Ace effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hated the fact that people were not that high on him before the season started. The dude's a monster. And without Ace, we don't beat Galvin's team in the playoffs of last season.
It's because he doesn't put up big numbers. It's because he's not like Halo Reach or anything where he puts up big fat tank numbers.
He went negative last season, but a lot of that is him playing around with a sword and making making goals happen. You know what I mean? Like, if he's got somebody on his team that's going positive and handling kills, he's gonna do something more effective. He doesn't need to get all the kills to do that. So,
although this season he's positive, he's got the best KD on his team, and shout out to Zeg
against the first team.
Well, like I said, if he's got somebody on his team going positive, like me and Sab were last season, and Easy was positive too, he's going to go make plays. He doesn't have to worry about getting the kills, so he's going to go do other things to help affect the game positively. This game, he's getting more kills because his teammates maybe not, getting as many or going as positive, but he's still going to be able to affect the game in a positive way.
Two more things on that team real quick, though, not just Ace. Zeg. Oh, we'll get back to Zeg. Because he's still in preseason Zeg form, but this entire team's positive right now.
Yeah, they're doing well. But also they're really quick games. Like.
Yep.
Yeah, they have less than an hour of game time.
They whoop their ass. But until someone challenges them and legitimately challenges them, maybe we're not that team to do that.
Slow them down.
Yeah. What's gonna happen there? Because they were quick games. Like,
do they still go positive if it's an hour-long tank off?
Probably not. If it's 35 minutes, which I think an average game is like 30 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, so that's Ace.
It's a 35-minute affair.
Number 5.
Sorry. 4.
Sorry, D-Cleek cut you off mid-sentence there. I feel like I disrespected my boy Sab. You guys have him both ranked so high, and I
He
have
is
him
a fucking
all the way
monster.
down at 10. I took too much account into this season and how I think he's gonna play this season with the team he has.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, you guys know Sab's my boy, and I praise the man for what he does on the court. Like, I think he's better than me. I do. This top 10 doesn't show it right now. This top 10 doesn't show it right now because of the season I think he's gonna have.
Well, technically ours did.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Because you have both ranked over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue, like, I'll be honest, Sab, like, Regressor was real good in the series, but Sab was a legitimate monster in that series.
Yeah, he just makes stuff happen.
Sab is, like, the MVP of that team at this time. I don't know if it's going to continue. If he keeps playing like that, I can see him in, like, contention for a legitimate MVP.
The thing is, though, is, like, if he's not playing a D-Clique style team where you don't have a whole bunch of positive tanks on your team, right? Like, J-Bar's your best tank, and J-Bar's not known for being a monster tank. He doesn't keep up with stats that well. You know what I mean? So when they play the half-breeds, they play the Galvins of the world.
But that's where you have, like, your teammates to go be fodder for that, while you go pick on, like, the beams and the BCKs on defense.
Yeah, I hate doing that because if I leave my teammates to deal with half-breed, it seems like we always spend my team always spends all of our time on our side of the court because my team's just getting run through. So I always try to line up against the best and kind of slow them down when I can.
But I mean, hopefully, like, it all depends on their style too. If they get a runner who's confident enough to punch half-breed, or a player of half-breed's caliber, or top 5 player, and allow Sab to go, pick on the worst kids, then Sab can still go off and do his thing. It's just his team's gonna determine if he's gonna stay at 4 or if he's gonna drop the 10.
Yeah, full disclaimer, I think Sab's at 5. I think Sab is in front of me. I think he's better than me. I just think with his team, his season's not gonna reflect it. Yeah. Because I think when his team matches up against the best teams, they're gonna get slapped around and everybody's gonna go negative, including Sab.
We'll see. I'm still not ready to throw a set in out the window. Yet. But yeah.
Next.
Me and Gingy both have him at 5. D-Clique's got him at 6. So you're in pretty consistent company there.
Yeah, the Sab pushing Sab and Galvin and Digital kind of push Gingy down for me.
Yep.
It's not like it's it's not like it's fucking saying he's like so much worse. It's just there's like increments of like good players at that level. It's hard to pick. It's pick your.
Fuck you guys! I'm winning hybrid of the season. I'm gonna go plus 300. Have the most goals on my team. Like,
I mean, I don't know if you can go plus with men's going off like that. Men's might win it. Men's might win best tank.
I mean, I hope so.
Well, I
don't want best tank. I want best hybrid. Like, he can have best.
Stat-wise, he's doing really well so far, but yeah, there's too much good competition for that. But yeah, Gingy right around where he always is. Next, let's see. I did. You went over him. Probably Silva here. Gingy had him at 6. I had him at 7, and D-Clique had him at 8. I still can put Silva higher if he just goes back to being that dominant tank version of Silva that we've seen in Halo 3. I'm not really down with hybrid Silva so far.
Yeah, I think the issue becomes is he's the best tank and the best runner in that team. And everyone knows it. I'm assuming his teammates know it. Everyone he's playing against knows it. And it's hard for him to like.
Well, if he holds onto the bomb, do they have enough tanking power to get off their side of the court?
Yeah.
No.
With Tad going as negative as he's going, no.
No, because like right now, again, they got Tad, Rockies, and Aware. Rockies is not doing that bad, but I mean, we got Aware with negative 1.48 KD per minute, Tad at 0.7, negative 0.7.
Diablo's not going positive.
Yeah, you need Silva on this tanking line right now. This team needs him to tank.
But the problem becomes like when Silva is tanking, doing well. I mean, I don't know. You're saying he has had trouble with connection against us, which is whatever.
Oh, well, join the club.
Yeah, but that's whatever. I think the issue also becomes they lack. Rockies isn't helping him run-wise. Like, he's not punching people on the edge. He's not helping the pushes. Like he gets punched every once in a while.
He's passive footing, which is why it's okay when I run, because we don't suffer our tanking line for it. Because even though I was running half the time, I still got as many kills as men and as much KD as men because I'm punching and I'm helping tanks move up the court.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Like when your team's struggling, you need, as a runner, you need to do something to assist them, whether it's positioning or taking a kill here and there.
Well, even if it's just dancing off one of the tanks, like if your tank's in a 2v1 situation, be like, hey, if there's a sword, focus the sword. I will dance against the hammer so he doesn't just walk up and smash you. Like, just help him. You don't gotta sit. You don't gotta sit against your back wall and wait for everybody to die. Yeah, do something. Yeah, I think Silva's a tough one to place. I don't think he's having as good of a tanking season as some of the people that I've ranked lower than him. But I think just due to the hybrid factor, he's a good defender. He can run. I think overall he's a better player. And my logic is completely flawed here because if I have Sav at 10 because of the season he's about to have, I think Silva should be down there too.
Yeah.
But like I said, we did this in 20 minutes.
I didn't think too much about it yet.
Yeah, it's up to your preparation on our end.
Yeah, so I think Silva, Sav are interchangeable here. I think they're both in for a rough season if their team doesn't kind of pick it up and turn it around, but I think Silva's the best player on his team, hands down, bar none, and it's not close. Number 7.
This is where things start to go all over the place.
Yeah. Top 5 is pretty similar.
I think the most consistent we have up here is actually Demon. We've got him at either 8 or 9 on all of our sheets. I mean, I have Regressor pretty high. I think, Genji's got Regressor as low as 18 though.
Yeah, because you have Star at 17. That's
reason. I got Star really low too. He's just not. Put on the damn mic in custom games.
All right, so if we're gonna go with 7 or whoever as Demon.
Yeah, let's go Demon because I think he's playing the best on the team at the moment.
So, I mean,
you guys don't think it's Sim? Like, the dude's playing really well, like, stat-wise.
I think Zim's up there, but I don't think, in my opinion, I had him below Star and Silva and Demon. Not because he's not good, but I know Zim, and I know his personality.
I'm trying to keep the pressure off my boy.
Yeah, and I love my boy, but he's a tilter.
Sure.
I'll say when we get to him, but discussing Demon right now. Best KD on the team. Granted, it's a very easy team to go positive in.
Yeah, I think. Again, another team that to use the silent stuff like that until they get challenged by whoever team, doesn't matter who, until someone challenges them to see what they can do and pushes Nihilus and pushes Demon. We won't really know if he's officially up there, but talent-wise, he is. Like, kid can do it all. He can kill. He can run. He has a really good sword.
Getting stops. He's getting. Yeah. Most multi-kills on his team by quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's got 10 more triples than Star.
Yeah, he can be aggressive, he can be passive, like he can set up the tank to play with her. I think he might be one of the more well-rounded tanks in the league. Just because he can plug and play with anybody right now.
He really has.
I think even last season he was better than Saints.
Oh, yeah, we all thought so. A lot of us thought so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks like we all do now, so.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I think Demon, you put any player you have above him as his duo, I think he's plug and play ready with any of them.
I think he got blessed, absolutely blessed, being ranked underneath Zim, underneath Regressor, underneath Saints.
Yeah,
he easily could have been the 8th pick in this draft.
Pick, yeah. And
I don't think it's a surprise that we have them ranked first right now, and they're probably still the best team in the league. I think that there was a consequence of the draft order not being ideal.
And I've said it multiple times. If Demon and Star don't win their ship this season, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to pull this team off again. So I think this is one of their best shots.
All right.
Especially together, because I don't know if they ever get on another bid league team together again.
Yeah, Demon's just it. Like he's the Zim of our PC Grifball leagues. Like when Zim came out of nowhere in 5, Demon the same way.
Yeah.
He just blew up, and he's taking a claim as a top 10 player without question.
Yep.
moving down the list, let's not get too far off of the D leagues here. So we can address Star since we're already on the same topic with Demon. D League has him the highest at 7. Gingy's got him at 9, and I've got him all the way down to 17.
Cough, cough.
I don't know how you have him down there.
I just do.
All right, so I think
hasn't
Star's
done it for
really
me in the games that we played. It just hasn't happened for me.
Yeah, I think Star's really, really good. As the reason I have him ranked 7.
I think he could.
Yeah. I think he's an influencer.
Talented.
He's like Ace. He's not your best tank.
No.
He's not your best runner, specifically, right?
Yeah.
But he influences the game in such a way that it makes it easier, right? He's going to get turnovers.
He's
gonna get
himself in the
multi-kills.
right situation. He does all that.
Right.
He also has a really good connection for himself, so that helps out with a lot of players. Like he understands his connection. He does use it to his advantage, which every top player should.
Yep.
I think for me, it's just because I played with him on Reach when he was a top tier tank. I just don't see him as that same level as a tank as he was in Reach, and I just have not seen what he's been able to do as a runner. People talk him up as a runner. It's for a lot, it seems. I just never see it, so I don't really have that into my contribution on his list.
I don't think he's as good as he is on Reach either.
No. Yeah, so I'm just kind of basing a lot on that. Like I'm dropping him because of
his
he's not
ability
Reach.
is like, in my opinion, like he can like. I don't think he could plug and play with everybody up there, but he wouldn't need too much difference to play with somebody. Like,
right,
he's not gonna be like your main number one guy, but he's a nice, tank to have holding line.
Like I've been trying to. Right, and he's a good fit with a lot of people though. Like he may not be able to plug and play with everybody, but if you place him next to a Galvin, right, he's gonna be that hybrid that can run if Galvin, if they don't have a runner, or if he plays next to a half-breed, he can be that second tank who goes to the plate and holds people down and lets half-breed push to him. And he does everything smart, and he influences the game in the right way. No, he's not as good as he is in Reach, but, like I said, he can influence the game. Plus, keep it into my, half-assed approach, I think he's going to have a good season. He's on the top team. Number 9 is where I'm going to put him because of that. And like I said, I should have had Silva lower if I think it's going to be a season thing. But that really helped Soul's standing in my eyes get to the top
10. Moving on, let's just do me and Zim at the same time. 2 of us have us right after one another. I have myself just above him on mine. D-League has him just above me on his, and then Gingy has me significantly lower than him there. Personally, we've been complimenting each other very well during the season. He's been the passive tank line holder, and I've been playing a lot more aggressive than I was intending to during the season. And it's worked out really well thus far. Yeah, I just think we're pretty much interchangeable at this point. The only difference is really the play styles that we have at the moment.
It's the magic.
The only difference is he's going mass positive and you're not. Because other than that, your stats are very similar. He's got 5 more kills, same amount of playtime. You've got 6 more stops. He's got 8 more double kills and you 5 more triples. But everything after that, sprees and overkills, you guys are the same. Your average life is within 2 to 3 seconds. You're very similar players. I just think he's going way more positive.
Yeah, he definitely is, especially after those games against Galvin's team. He absolutely dominated those series. He was easily the best player on our team in those 2 games.
Right.
My biggest contribution, honestly, this season has been tip-offs. Like it's not going to show up on the stat sheet because we're not tracking it, but like I've been going through the last few series, I've seriously been grabbing the tip-offs uncontested like 3 out of every 4 rounds. It's insane how successful I've been at that, and that's kind of my biggest plus at this point.
Just wait till you go against my team. I'm gonna make that stop for sure.
That's fine. We'll see. The last few games have been ridiculous, so bring it on, boy.
Right. All right. So moving on, those are the same player. Realistically, Zim and Rage are interchangeable. Only difference being KD. Now I got GOAT, and he's pretty similar for all of us. I have him as high as 11. Decleague has him at 12 and Rage has him at 13. So average it out to 12. I mean, honestly, he surprised me so far. I didn't expect him to be plus 60 on the season.
No.
Yeah, that's the surprising
game. Like, people don't understand. Like, this Halo 3, he can tank, can do it stuff. He maybe cannot run as well as people think he can, but he can tank for sure.
I mean, I've seen him in custom games hold on to the bomb and be good with it.
No, he can hold on to the bomb, but like, he's not gonna punch people. He's not gonna set stuff up. Like, I know, I've played with him for so long and know him. He doesn't feel it, so he's not gonna do it unless he has to.
See, there's this opinion people will get of J-Bar because he plays a lot of custom games, and he plays differently in the custom games. Like, he's always going for all this crazy stuff. He's having a great time. But come league game, like, there's a part of J-Bar where if he has that like perfect balance, because he can be a very good tank as he's showing this season, there's that perfect balance of messing around and focused in, and it's that's kind of what we're seeing right now, and it's a very dangerous level of J-Bar.
It also helps that our team like helps with that. Like, we want him to do stupid shit like that. We're down for all that.
I think this is the prime example of chemistry gets wins. You know, their team is just. If you guys had Rebs, I think you guys would be just the biggest finger popping each other's assholes kind of team. You know, just best friend, having fun on the Grifball court.
You heard of?
Yeah. Well, knowing J-Bar, it's what's happening.
Like, he's our main tank, but he's not like our main tank. Like,
you guys are such variable players. Like, you have everything. You have passiveness, you have brains, you have that I don't give a fuck mentality sometimes that allows you to just go do shit. Right? You're not worried about dying because you launched over somebody or sending a launch and having it fail even though you're losing 3-2. Right? Like, my mentality is always, we can't lose the game if we have the bomb. You know what I mean? Like, if we tank through them and don't give the ball over, we're going to be fine. You know, that's my mentality. You guys are fucking send it. Like, let's get it.
It's a chaotic neutral.
Against the boys, we were 100% like, I told them, like, let's just let them have the ball. We'll get it back and score quicker that way than holding the ball for an hour and trying to take them in.
Right.
But no, like, Jibber does everything for us what we need. He's willing to launch. He's up and get it. Like, I don't think there's that many people that good in the air.
Probably not.
That are better than J-Bar. But like, he gets, like, he'll get kills, and he'll sporadically get like a kill tag walking forward, and then we just gotta keep up. Or we'll wait for him, and then we'll get kills around him, and then he'll get his like little hammer jump on someone's spawn.
Now, I imagine your comms are pretty happy and.
Yeah, I mean, even when we got ass kicked, it was pretty like whatever. I think the most stressed out we've been is that our game. Because we wanted to end it, and there was points in time where I'm pretty sure we were like we're debating we should throw the game or not.
Do we turn this over on our plate on purpose?
Question mark. Wins, and then it was like, no, it's Sova.
Yeah, can't do that.
No, it was like, no, it's Sova and Zeg's. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's piss both of them off.
Right.
All right.
12.
I have Regressor at 8, and I kind of been setting down until we've gotten a little closer where you guys have them. But I have Regressor really high. D3 has him at 13, and then Gingy, you have him as low as 18. I just think he's among the best two-way players that we have right now. Like, he's a great runner. He's been showing he's a great tank, and he understands the game so well. He can be a bit of a cancer in the comms at times, or all the time.
That's exactly why I put him so low.
No,
that's the only reason. I think he can do both well. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's a tank or a runner currently. But I think he's a good player. He's just can be toxic.
Yeah, and there's just more to be seen with this team because again they've only played 2 games.
They've played 2 games, yeah.
Like, I just see him as very versatile.
I think he can jump up to where you have him rage even higher. I really think Regressor might be, like, as you said, one of the better two-way players. It's just, like, what is he? He hasn't really done much. Like, he's a good tank. He's a good runner. But, like, he's not doing enough right now, again, out of the 2 games, to leapfrog him more. I need more views of Regressor. I need him to play more because then I'll have a better understanding how he's doing this season.
Right.
Yeah. So
And I also took into effect of last season's playoffs. He had some really, really good players around him, and he didn't play that great, right? Like, so I took that against him a little bit. But I think if it wasn't for his attitude,
no, but
he would be.
With Sab right now.
Well, yeah, he's never yelled at Sab, and I don't think Sab would take it as well as other people that he's played with do. But Sab's a hard guy to yell at. Sab's a very chill dude, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
He's sad.
So, right.
But yeah,
how do you yell at somebody who's better than you? Like, hey, carry harder. It's like yelling at Ace. You don't do it. It doesn't make sense.
No, you yell like good shit or great job or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now moving down, I think we can address men's. We have him pretty similar between 12 and 15. Stat-wise, he's had a very good start to the season. He's
tank of the season.
He's putting up better numbers than Gingy, which is interesting to think about. Where the fuck?
Please keep it up.
Here, no, that's not where he is.
I think men's is.
Or purple.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind.
Dog. It's the third one. It's the third one from the top.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah,
I mean,
he's putting up.
He's got one more kill. He's got one more kill, one more KD, or he's got 2 more kills plus 1 more KD. I mean, he's got more double kills by a lot.
Stops, yeah, hope it's double. He has more overs.
And if I'm going to be running as much as I am, I need him to put these stats
especially
up every
with the
game.
other 2 struggling. But
right.
I mean, not struggling, but like that's not necessarily 2 games. I think 15 isn't bad. But
right.
Again.
Well, Tommy played very well. Yeah. Tanking the whole time. Regressor did pretty well too, considering Regressor. Sorry, Jesus, Encott. Considering that he was also running half the time, right? Like he still put up 192 kills. Didn't go very negative. Had the second least amount of stops on the team, but he put just as many double kills up as me.
Yeah.
You know, we played well. Granted, we played Saints' team.
Yeah, but that's a good warm up. I don't want to say being disrespectful or anything. That's a good game, confidence game to get under your belt, especially when they're trying to figure themselves out.
Right, and we were trying to figure ourselves out too, because the plan was for me not to even touch the bomb.
And can't hold it, but then you got a few times, yeah.
Yeah, but I ended up picking it up, and it was successful. We did good with it.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good to have a tank of men's playing. Especially best example is our reach season. If we had a men instead of me, style, it would have been much better. You had a more
another second dominant tank.
Yeah, more traditional tank.
Yep.
Going plus whatever, staying alive, getting kills.
Still yet to be seen whether the Tommy West side over the Sket pick was a good decision. I think he played very, very good, especially in game 2.
I think they're both on the right team for where they should be in terms of a fit.
Yeah.
Sket is not going to play the same. He's not going to play the same on your team as he is on Zeg's team.
Right. There was questions about how serious Sket would be playing with us, and if he would show up to every game, and if he would practice. And we already had Men's who doesn't love to play customs and all that stuff. So I didn't want to be on a zombie team, is what I'm saying. People who only show up for games, and then it's me 1v8ing or 1v7, So we went with Tommy, somebody who's getting in games and showing up. But again, back to men's. Great start to the season. He's outperforming me in everything that he needs to be. And if he keeps this up, we're going to be a really dangerous team. So hopefully he can do that.
Moving on. We got a runner here. Let's look at just BCK. We got him at 14, 16, and 16. I think I think we're being optimistic with him because he's played so well in the games that he has, especially in custom games. The team just needs to get more court time to really see.
I think for that team, I think it's the tanks around half that win you or lose you games. I think BCK
it really
will be A-OK. It's up to whatever combination of Bean, Ivy, Squeeps, Padre help you win games. Because you have your two stalwarts. You need the other guys to step up and help half-breed out or help BCK out.
And it seems like they liked what Grunt showed. So
I did. I like what I saw at Grunt.
I think BCK is like your prototype runner. Maybe not as tank strong as Nihilus or even Doorstopper. Might be weaker, but he can be okay as a tank.
He's that kind of runner who know is gonna make your team better. He's not gonna make poor mistakes that's gonna lead to fluke goals for the team or anything. So there's like a level of confidence you have when he has the ball. And I think that's a big reason.
He can land punches and keep a hold of the bomb.
Yeah,
which is so important. Like
he's Halo 3's Tonga is pretty much what it is.
Right. I played with Crusader or against Crusader way too much. Bomb control to me means a lot, right? Like, and it makes no sense that I play the way I do with the bomb, but
because that's boring.
That's just right.
Bomb control can be boring.
Right. The way he plays is boring, but we've all seen it. It was effective.
Yeah, he gets.
So I always have that mentality that if I'm not running, my carrier should be passive and hang on to the bomb and don't even touch anything. But that's in a perfect world, you know what I mean? Like having that Crusader mentality, especially in a game where you can't pass it out, it's probably flawed. So,
moving down right below BCK and almost all these lists is Zeg, who is still in full-on preseason form. And a big reason that his team is 4-0 right now. The dude is plus 45 in the season. Yeah, he's got stats up there on the level of Mint and Gingy right now, KD wise. And this is the Zeg that this team needed to show up to perform well, and so far he has.
I think Zeg being in customs helps so much more than not actually doing anything last season.
Playtime always helps, for sure.
Who would have thought?
Just being warmish every time playing. He still sucks at bonks, so suck to suck, dude. But,
got him.
Yeah, but no, he's playing well. He's going to the pad when he needs to. He's owning that spot.
He's got the most kills on his team, the second best KD, the second most doubles and triples. He's got the most triples on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just being effective.
No, he's doing what he needs to do, and then he's also like allowing the other two more passive players in Pi and Sket to slowly do what they need to do. And him and Silent still like just 18 seconds average life is really good, whether or not it's
for a tag.
Whether or not it was quick games or not, but
right. And I mean stats wise, like Rage was saying, he's got about the same amount of playtime as us. He's got just as much KD, just as many kills. He's got more multi-kills. So everything is really just on par with what Rage said. He's playing very, very well. He is the real dino of this season. None of the boys are the real one.
And he's doing everything. 45 doubles is huge. 11 triples is good. He almost has double-digit stops. Like he's...
Yeah, if your second tank is getting a ton of multi-kills, you're sitting good, right? Because that probably means they're going positive.
Second tank, he might be the main, and just allowing Silent to do whatever Silent wants to do.
Yeah, that's the thing, because that's where people kind of lost their hype around Ace, is thinking of him as a lead tank, and that's not where he excels. So with Zeg tanking like this, it gives him
on his team.
He is not the lead.
Yeah, he's not a Galvin or a half-breed or anything. That's not the way he plays. And he just excels so much more when he gets to go around doing what he does. And that's what Zeg's allowing him to do right now. When Zeg falls apart, that team's going to fall apart. Because Ace is not going to be able to be Ace.
I was very nervous for Ace at the beginning of the season. There's still some question marks on if Pi and Sket can keep it up. And if Zeg can keep up this kind of performance, I hope he does, because Ace deserves to be on a good team in the bid league for once, or a draft league. But man, I was real nervous at the beginning. But
take offense to that. You want to ship with me in the league? I think.
Did he?
Halo 5? Yeah.
Halo 5.
Stop killing me.
Oh, you'd stop killing me and Ace on the same team. That's disgusting.
Yeah, we did.
All right, next up,
Ace
Gingy's,
Spence. League has Ace Spence.
I want to talk Saints because you have him up at 13. Me and Deep League have him a bit lower at 18. Where is he? 8. 18. Yeah, 8. Both at 18. He could very easily move up this list, but
yeah, I think the same thing that hurt Zeg last season is hurting lack of customs, lack of playtime.
Yeah, like I mean,
he's still a decent player. Like he's still serviceable for any team. Like he can go slot into any lineup right now, I believe.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is he's very, very host dependent.
That was the weird thing, because in the games they started in the first series, they picked me and it really didn't pay off. I mean, again, it was a 5-0. Not that it was entirely his fault because the whole team kind of just struggled, but I mean, we didn't have that like half-breed level of dominance you're kind of hoping for out of him,
right.
given where he had to, given where he was in the draft. But
I think that's also customs more because
yeah,
it's just like the feel.
He's got to be more than plus 23 in the season after four games. That's not the Saints we're accustomed to at the moment.
Right, barely more kills than a Tone who hasn't played, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to see old Saints back. He's had a rough start to the season, so that's kind of where these drops come from. But, I mean, don't get us wrong. He could shoot right back up to the top 10 after a couple good series, so.
He's still the best at everything on his team, for sure. Also, it says they have 0 goals on the season, which is wrong.
No, they scored goals. They've scored 6 goals.
They've scored 6 goals against my team.
We'll go ahead and let them know that the stats are off goals wise, but yeah, to change almost certainly. You said Ace Spence.
Yeah,
you got Ace Spence here. Oh, D-League has Ace Spence.
The only one who has Ace Spence.
No, Gingy's got him at 21. I don't even have him on here.
Yeah.
So, I like Ace Spence. Fun character, fun player. I think
he's a wild card.
Yeah, I think he's that perfect wild card for a team. He can give you with a sword, with a hammer. He probably with a bomb, punch you.
It's his style of play, right? He's so passive or aggressive, and you never know which it's going to be. You don't know if he's got a hammer or a sword out. You don't know what's going on inside his head, so he's not predictable. It's just he is a wild card.
He's fun to play against. He's just fun.
Yeah, he's a wild card.
He's a fun time. So
he's also on a position. I don't think there's anyone is more set up for success than Ace Spence is right now. They're given the team he's on and the role he's got to play. He's already got a great tanking duo, and he's already got his runner. He can go out there and do whatever he wants.
Well, according to D-Cleek and I, he's playing with 2 top 10 players. Which, does any other team have that?
Negative.
Unless we consider Rage's rankings, where it's Zim and him at 10, 11.
That's the highest duo you're gonna get. Otherwise.
Yeah. So he's got the best duo in the league, and then Nihilus, who is playing like the best runner in the league, so we all have him really low, and we'll talk about him in a second, but yeah, his team is stacked. He's built for success. I think D-Cleek's got him a little high, personally, and I think Rage will agree with that, not even putting him on the list, but he is definitely a wild card and a good player. He fits the team well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's going to look good on this team, and that's kind of where I'm not putting him on here. I think it's just a benefit of him playing on that team. If you put him on another team, like if you replace him with an Atone or something, I think opinions would change pretty big. So I'm just kind of being a little conservative with my placement of him.
Sure. So on my list, we have the first fancy spotting here.
Yes, you got Fancy at 14.
Oh,
I got Fancy at 14. You've got him at 17, and D-League's got him at 20.
9. No, 20? I thought I'm 19.
19. Sorry. Look, there's the rows.
And there's a row and a second row.
It's annoying me. Yeah. You know what? In fact, it's driving me nuts. I'm putting our names at the bottom. It's been pissing me off this entire time. There we go.
All right, that'll work.
God damn it.
Now you gotta delete that 25, yeah.
Go up. I I work with these sheets all day long. And there, we did it.
There you go. I think Sanchez is a good player. I think he has potential to go up. Same thing with Saints. The difference is I think it's just he's in a team that's not showcasing his ability too well.
No, I agree. I think he is a perfect complement to a lot of top-tier tanks in this league.
He would have been good with Galvin.
He would have been an amazing fit with Galv.
I think he would have been an amazing fit with just about anybody other than Didge and maybe Sab.
Yeah.
Like, you want that very aggressive push tank that can get a lot of kills, and Fancy's the perfect complement to it. And now
he's the guy on defense who's going to stay alive and you know help you stop pushes. Like
he's sneaky good on defense. Runners aren't expecting how good his hammer, sword is.
You're cutting out.
Oh shit! Sorry.
That you are.
It's alright. But yeah, Fancy. I think if he was on a different team with a different different first tank, I think you guys would probably have him up here where I do.
Probably. Do I sound better? Am I not cutting out now?
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's gotten just as many double kills as Didge. You know, just as many triple kills. He's gotten as many sprees. He is that tank that stays alive. He's a mini Didge, and honestly, Didge didn't need a copy of himself if he's got himself.
No, he's I've said it to his face a few times. The fanciest. He is like the prototype of Infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that remember.
But that's the prototype of Didge.
That's why he didn't really make sense on this team. Even if Didge even if Didge continues to run, Fancy shouldn't be that number one tank. You're kind of desperate for some offense there. Although he was doing a lot more walking forward against us when we played them.
Right, and he does have that mode where he just starts holding forward sometimes, and it throws you off. But he doesn't do it enough, right, to really switch it up often.
I think he's actually been doing that this season, and his numbers are kind of suffering because of it. Like, he's only +7 on this season.
Right, even though he has as many sprees as Didge.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, every spree is him going, 5 kills at least to 1 death.
Yeah.
So, that kind of KD alone should be 25 to 30. So, obviously he's hurting himself somewhere by not getting kills or something like that, so...
Yeah, I think it's more that if Didge is gonna run or whoever's gonna run, you have to be aggressive again. You have to give space for Fancies to work.
If you're gonna duplicate a tank, Digital is not the one you want to duplicate on one team.
Yeah.
No.
Right? Unless you have like a Galva or a Gingy on your team as well. Like if you want a duplicate tank, you want 2 Gingis, 2 Galvs, 2 half-breeds, people who are aggressive and create offense. You don't want 2 people that stand there and don't move up the court
or
as
if
much.
Digital's not going to run, Digital needs to be more aggressive version of himself. Not super aggressive. He doesn't need to be you, Galvin. He just needs to.
Well, he's got to dictate the pace. Then you know what I mean. He's got to be the one making sure that when he gets a kill, he's getting his other teammates up the court as well.
Yeah.
Right. And Fancy needs to do a better job of recognizing that if Didge is 10 steps ahead of him, he needs to hurry up his tanking battle a little bit and get up there to help. It's more than just on Didge, It's going to take the veterans of Fancy and Martin to realize what's going on and really pull their weight. Otherwise, they're not going to turn their season around. So it's not just on Didge. You can never just have one player do everything. Ace isn't doing everything. He's got Zeg pulling some good numbers right now. He's got Sket and Pi doing better than we expected them to do this early. It's a full team effort.
That's why someone needs to help half-breed out.
Yeah.
Right.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, like, if Fancy's playstyle is more passive and you can't really develop that aggression, then it's up to like your better tank to dictate, as you said, dictate the pace, and then the other people to step up to, as you stated, like help the team out. Like Martin step up, and Fancy
Martin and Mist really need to realize that they need to be aggressive just to kind of help their passive tanks.
Yeah.
Have an easier time of it, but. Moving on, just to keep the pace of this going, because we're probably getting up there in time. Who we seeing next? Diablo?
Let's say Deathly, because someone didn't include Diablo, and someone else didn't include Door. Deathly's the highest place that we all have. We know who Deathly is. He's trash. He's pretty awful. He's not good at this game, but he'll make some defensive plays here and there. So we put him high.
I put him high. Y'all disrespected my man's.
I disrespected myself. What do you mean?
I put him exactly where he deserves.
I was told I had to put myself somewhere.
If you think you're top 25, you do.
We did tell him he had to put him on the list.
Right. I didn't tell him he had to. I just said if he thinks he's top 25, yes, put yourself on the list.
And
be honest.
We know who Dietlich is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's discuss my runner.
I think we should discuss Door and Diablo.
Someone disrespected. Gingy is not a believer in Doorstopper. I am.
Who do I take off my list? I don't know.
Well, according to me, A-Spence.
Yeah, like A-Spence is 15 on Dietlich's list and 21 on mine, which is very enough. You don't even have him.
Yeah, you don't have Door either.
I mean, it's all. I mean, at this point, it's all just like your ice cream flavors.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Who's the bigger omission here? Gingy leaving out Door, Dietlich leaving out Diablo, or me leaving out A-Spence? I'm gonna go ahead and say that Diablo is the biggest.
Diablo deserves to be on there. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Diablo wasn't that much of a threat, and I don't think he's doing too hot right now, and I don't see him
3 on the season. Yeah.
I don't see him doing too hot later. For where he was picked and what he's supposed to do for that team.
Everybody was saying he's a first-round player during the draft and everything.
He's a late first-round player, but the problem is, again, this comes down to Silva. He needs Silva to be the big tank. Diablo is not a number 1 tank. He's a great number 2 tank.
I think the issue
every time I've played against Diablo, he's gone negative, and he hasn't been that dominant tank. Like, he just hasn't been.
That's why he can't be the number 1. He'll have his moments where he makes a huge impact on the game, but he's not going to maintain that the entire game. The reason
I put Diablo is we thought he was going to be like Sab was for Regressor, because at one point they just pushed with Sab and then Regressor's right behind. We expected to see the same thing with the Rockies, with Silva running the ball, with Diablo pushing forward somewhere, but he really didn't. Like, he's not a main lead tank. He needs help. He's good, but I wouldn't put him like.
I think Diablo is a low second tank, or a high third. I think if he's on a team with 2 better tanks than him, you're sitting really, really, really good.
I think if you get Diablo there, then your team's probably set for a championship.
Yeah, right. I also think to go back to customs matter. Diablo needs to play, because if he plays, I think he's up there. But with him not playing, I don't think he's gonna.
Well, and I don't think he's trash either. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's as good of a lead tank as people rank him. I think he's a good player that needs to put in more time. And
I'll be completely honest. I could interchange Diablo and Cannon list, and it wouldn't really bother me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just think he just needs playing time. Diablo came up and showed me in customs that he's working on stuff, and then played the same game.
Did I leave Cannon off my list?
You did.
Yeah, you did. Oh, that's a pretty big omission too.
I mean, I can do the same with I can take off Cannon and put Diablo or take.
Well, I think I did because Cannon's like -51 on this season, and we're there right now. We're at Diablo. We might as well talk about Cannon too. We just said they're the same player. They really kind of are.
They're just. Well, I mean, like in terms of like where they should be on a team, they are. But I mean, their play styles are pretty different. Cannon has among the most unique play styles of anyone in the league. It's very hard to find a team that he actually fits in, and I'm not sure Galvin's the one who should have been his number 1.
I think Cannon's play style hurts him more often than it helps him. He's way too willing to throw away his life by going up in the air. He feels this weird need to stick along on the wall all the time. I don't know. Cannon. He also doesn't like connections, right? He complains a lot about connection. But it's Grifball. It's online Grifball. It doesn't matter what host you play on. You either get fucked or you do great, right? Like, I hate Sam's host. I struggle so bad on it. I still went plus 30. I still went plus 30 against Saints. I hate Digital Pain's host. I still went plus 30 against Regressor's team. Well, in playoffs, we all hated Digis host.
Oh, playoffs, okay.
Right? We all hated Digis host. I still went plus 30 against Regressor's team with Galvin them. Like,
well, you're a cheater.
You just gotta fucking get over. I went -17 the game before. You commented on it on the video.
Yeah, I did.
Like -17 to plus 33. What happened? I don't know. I got over the fact that I'm getting screwed by connection, and I help myself by playing smarter. Like it is what it is. You gotta overcome it.
I think the issue with Cannon as well, as you stated, his play style. It's also the fact that he wants to make a play, but he always wants to make a play, and sometimes it works. Like in the playoff series against Zamp last season, where he got the hammer lunge, because no one was paying attention.
Right.
But then other times it hurts you because he'll go up in the air, he'll go position himself somewhere, and then and everyone will be like, "Okay, bye, Cannon. We're just gonna leave you back there."
I said this to Grunt Padre in Reach. Like if he just kept his feet on the ground and tanked, he would be a 10 times more effective player, right? Like he was able to get aerial kills. Don't get me wrong. But he also threw his life away, 8 out of 10 times, right? That's not worth the other 2 times where you make something happen. If you can just, take your one-on-ones with the runner, you're going to be way more effective. Push the runner into the corner, take a one-on-one, make him miss, and get the bomb back instead of just throwing your life away and putting more pressure on Galv and on Noplex and on Priest, who aren't proven. Galv's the only proven tank there. You don't want to put all the pressure on lesser tanks. You don't want Noplex and Priest to have to win one-on-ones for you not to get shoved into your wall. You need to be that guy who's getting kills, going positive, helping Galv. That's the position he's in, whether he likes it or not. That's the team he's on, So it's just the way he needs to play, and that goes into what we were saying earlier about with Fancy. You know your situation. You're a veteran player. Same with Martin. You know what you got to do to help. Make those changes. Try to play different. I know, you've been playing the same way for 10 years, but you gotta adapt or die. Like, I was just a tank. I never used to run. I never used to play defense. I had the awareness of a goddamn active hate or a peanut. Same thing. But
yikes.
I picked it up. Moving on.
We never actually.
We didn't talk about Door.
Yeah, we never actually talked about my boy Door. I think he's a great runner. We've been really good with our the launches have been 50-50, but when we get them off, they're like really accurate.
As someone played with Door last season, I think he's a great runner. I think he can create a lot of things out of nothing. I also think he hurts you because sometimes he tries to create nothing. Like
he throws his life. He throws his life away.
He's a budget me in from Reach.
Damn.
I wouldn't go that far.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't go that far. He throws his life away. When you're a tank on defense, you actually get kills, play your life, play slow. I see Dewar take a sword out and just charge people too often.
Oh, like that. I was talking about with the ball.
No,
okay, with the bomb I agree. He is a good runner. I will never say anything other than that. But like everywhere else, he struggles, right? Like he does what Killer does all the time, where he's got that 4 guys 1 ball mentality where it's like take out a sword, split the defense, make a play. You don't need to do that all the time. Like, you just hurt yourself if you're constantly dying and giving up free KD to...
Or positioning, yeah.
Or positioning, or field... Yeah. All of that stuff hurts. Like,
and pressure, yeah. I think he's, like, a good runner. I don't... He makes stuff. I trust him with launches. He wants to make a launch. I 100% agree. I'm down. I think the issue becomes, like, certain situations doesn't make... I don't want to say the right play, but just a higher percentage play. Like, he won't drop the ball in the corner. If you want, he'll try to punch someone and hope his tanks kill it, which is great. Because sometimes he does do it, and you're like, oh shit, good job.
He's stuck on 120. He's stuck on 120 field of view. And I think
he's a very...
That's rude.
He's a very definitive veteran runner. He's gonna make all of your... He's gonna make all those plays that a veteran runner should do for Halo 3. He's comfortable with launches. He knows when and when not to make some trying to wrap around, make some little pushes here and there.
He's a very smart player.
Yeah, and that's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna. He's not gonna go mass positive out of nowhere.
The best way I can say it, as someone I teamed with him last season, is you live and die off of him as your runner. He's gonna win you games, but he might also help lose you games, and you deal with it. You hope to help stop the bleeding.
I think he could help himself if he just focuses on tanking a little smarter. I think he could probably help himself by not running on 120. I don't know who else does that anymore. He might be the last one on that hill. I don't know of anybody who does. Do you guys? Yeah, Jaga. I think Jaga finally talked about switching over or switching back to like. I don't know. You get.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a preference thing, I guess, and I shouldn't really be complaining about it. But I think you got most of the best players saying that they're playing from 75 to 100. Like, why wouldn't you do the same? Why wouldn't you want to take that advantage?
I think he does it well. Like, he's gonna win you games. He's gonna hurt you a bit on some games, but he's gonna do it, and he's probably one of the better options out there.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 10 runner in this league for sure.
I mean, I like
I would say
runners,
I would say top 5, but I don't know. I can't comfortably say that because I don't know who's all running and what it looks like. But
and who's up next? Rage.
Yeah, speaking of runners though, we're getting on Corn. We're right here on Corn on our list. I see him and Dora as pretty similar in terms of their running ability. I just see Corn as more. Corn will make some insane punches. I think some ridiculous punches. I just think he's on a team that's not doing as well, so he's not going to be seen in that light.
I think Corn is really, really good at getting punches in the air with launching. Like in scrims, he probably hit like 15 launches against us, hit all of his punches in the air. He's a decent tank too. Like, I think he's a better tank than Doer. So I think when he's on defense, he doesn't hurt you any. Same with like a kind of regressor. Like, if regressor doesn't have the bomb, it's not like he's getting pushed through or being just a free kill. I think he gets stops. I think he gets multi-kills. And he makes plays. I think he's, right now on my list, I think he is better than Doer. Just having played him recently.
Last time I played against him, and I've had him on 3 MCC team, like, he's creative with launches. Like, he'll launch back out of a bad position, which is really cool, and I wish more people did that. He puts you in good situations, but the issue is, again, he got drafted. He's meant to carry as a runner, and that's a bit rough to do.
Yep, I agree. He got sniped at the first pick for Saints, and that's.
And he needs to start like route running or generating more kills or something like as a runner to help out, because everything else stat wise looks good. I assume he has the majority of the goals on the team because the stats aren't updated for those goals.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I think he had most of them.
And to finish up the running, finish up Diddley.
No, yeah, you're good.
All right. Well, I was gonna say, let's finish up our runners on the top 25 because pretty much right below Corn or right there is Nihilus. And speaking of players who are in the perfect position to succeed, I don't think anyone is in a better spot than Nihilus in terms of running, going along, tanking behind Star, Demon, and Ace.
Congratulations on not getting activated. This is what it feels like to be a pup runner with a good team.
Yeah, I think Nihilus might be the best tank out of all the other runners.
I think besides BCK, he is.
I think personally, I think he might be better than BCK, which helps him. But again, I have him low. He could be higher, but again, testing. I need to see him against a team that's gonna. I like to see him against my team, where we're just gonna attempt to hunt him down if we can get to him.
This is reverse logic for me. Reverse logic for my whole list. Whereas I was saying that success of the season's gonna matter. I think his team having a lot of success and the players that he's playing with overshines him a little bit. I think
I said the same thing about Ace Spence.
Right, and that's fair. I hesitate to say how good Nihilus is because he's playing with the Star and with a Demon. If we saw Corn Ninja in this spot, or we saw BCK in this spot, who do we think is doing better?
I think
I think Corn and BCK here are doing better.
Oh my God, this team of BCK would be kind of broken.
That team's nuts.
But I mean, this is like the definitive runner stat line right here. His kills are half of what his tanks are. His average life is 34 seconds. And he's got 17 of their 20 goals. This is like the most pure runner stat line we have this season.
And that's perfect. Like, he's understanding what he needs to do to win. If you are that, Nihilus, if you keep doing that for your team, you guys are going to be tough to beat. Like, people are going to have to force Demon and Star to fail in order to beat their team. And that's not easily done. So if you keep doing that, you're going to be in a great spot.
My issue with that, as I earlier stated, is I think he's good. I just want to. I don't know how good he can be.
Right.
Is he a legitimate top 25, or is he up there because he's playing well on a good team?
Right, and I think he's going to have the best runner stats of the season. I think he might even get runner of the season.
Yeah, if a team can test them, like if someone can get through Demon and Soda start chasing Nihilus down, I want to see how that works out. Does he have the confidence to land punches? Is he going to play the smart plays? Is he going to,
right,
do the good things that I would expect of a runner on a good team?
Can the top 5 teams push their team to be uncomfortable and get there to test them? I don't know, because
that might be a big if.
Yeah. So he might not even get tested.
Yeah.
He might just breeze through the season having a really good team, and congratulations.
Activated the next season when he gets picked second or first overall.
Yikes.
Right, he's gonna get fucking cord ninja by Saints. It could be. Yeah. Congratulations, you're on a good team.
You're playing on a good team. Let's just be real about that. You're playing on a good team.
Yeah, you're doing good. You deserve to be there. Yeah. But I have a tone. Nobody else has a tone on there, so we'll talk about him briefly.
I struggled with not putting him on or not putting him on. I think he's a good player, but at that point, I was just starting to throw coin flips and just making up names and be like, I don't know. Sure.
Right. He's going positive. He's putting up very, very similar numbers to Saints. In fact, he's got more multi-kills. More just
doubles,
a few less kills. Just as many stops. So I think he's playing as good as Saints, and we have Saints quite a bit higher on this list for various reasons. But I think he deserves to be there. You guys don't think that? That's completely fine.
I think I'm plenty ready to put him on here once this team gets some more games in, because I think they're going to do a lot better. I don't think they're going to finish the season in last place. I think they could go a lot higher. I just think they just have a lot of growing pains, and I'm plenty ready to put him up
here.
He should have, talent-wise, he's absolutely capable of being on the system.
I would always focus form sometimes over, I did do it for digital. He's not doing too hot, but nonetheless, digital is that good. For the lower ends, from 15 onwards, it's more form counts better than it. And at this time, I don't know if a Tone knows his spot on the team. Is he the main guy? Is Saints the main guy? They haven't figured that out, which hurts him more because he's good. His stats show he's good. He's playing against them. He's a good player. It's where can we maximize a Tone to showcase his skill set?
Well, and does he understand Halo 3 as well as some other people? Because sometimes people just fill up the stat sheet.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe going somewhere else and only getting kills, not paying attention.
Right. Well, we talked about Cannon, who's your 24th.
I think it's time to talk Sket. I think he's the last one we have not addressed.
Yeah, before that, I just want to say sorry to Nick. I was hard on him when I evaluated him. Still love you.
He's already stopped listening. It's too late.
Yeah, I know. But that way it could be said that I did say that I still love him and that I think he could be better. He just needs to stop complaining and get better. Customs.
Sket's another wild card. Sket is all wild card. If he's feeling it, he's good. The question is what happens when he's not feeling it.
Thought about not putting him on the list and putting on Dewar just because he created another podcast. But
I enjoyed it personally.
Then I decided I liked it. Yeah, and I think the content
I forgot to listen to it.
No, that's good.
It's good.
Sorry,
he's got music. He's got music. It's edited. It's nice. You can tell he took his time. we don't do that around here.
You can tell we don't.
Yeah, we just get in and talk.
I don't think I edited anything last time. I cut out the beginning, I cut out the end, and exported.
I think it's going to be very, very similar this time.
I think Sket's a good player. I think he can move up. The same thing with the Zeg issue is he's going to start playing customs, because right now, the 4-0, being 4-0 is great, but until a team tests him, if a team even tests him, is he going to step up or is he going to go down? Because last season, with all the issues he dealt with, he didn't have the best season. He wasn't anywhere near being what he is this season. Can that continue, or will?
Well, and if they run into a team with a Galvin or a Me and Men's and a half breed
that can slow down
can slow down their gameplay and stop Ace.
Yeah.
Do they keep up the numbers that they have been?
Yeah.
And really help, or do they hurt their team and just give them an L? Because I think Ace is going to be consistent and is going to play good no matter who they play. I think Zeg, for me, he's looking like he's got it back. At least
He's still
for the most
preseason Zeg.
Right. So I'm having a tough time thinking that that's going to change overnight, and that he's going to stop playing customs, that all of a sudden he's just going to suck again.
I mean, it could happen.
It could, sure. So I think
Confidence,
Sket's going to be pretty similar to what he's put up so far, or at least in that range, maybe a little worse, but, right where he's at. So it really just comes down to Sket and Pi, and it looks like they're sharing running duties. And it looks like Sket's doing better than Pi.
But Sket at least plays once in a while. Pi only shows up games.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Sure.
I think
seen him in maybe one
up there should be at least in consideration in the top 25 or an honorable mention up there. But it's just until adversity hits, until like a better tanking team than he's faced comes by.
Right.
And slows him down. Is he gonna show up, or is he going to struggle? Because they were better than us and we struggled. And then now it's us, my team's time to figure that out before we play our next game. And the same thing with Sket. Once he plays Junkyard Dogs or A in the Spences, what's gonna happen? Like, is he gonna still be the wild card, the playmaker that he is showing right now, or is he going to hurt the team, struggle, and cost games?
Right. And they were able to beat the boys pretty handily. They beat you.
They did beat us.
They beated you up.
They beated us.
Yeah, they beated you up pretty good. But I don't see your team as a dominant.
No, we're not.
Team.
I do want to make a joke because they did beat us so hard my internet shut off.
Yikes.
No, I was losing connection, but that's what I was joking around my entire time. I was like,
they kicked their ass so bad.
They kicked me offline. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they, and this is going to be a little bit of a shot at your team, D-League, and I'm sorry.
No,
I think they're the same team as you, just with a little bit higher ceilings, because they have an ace instead of a goat. And they have a Zeg instead of a U, and they have, they have
built-in chemistry too.
Yeah. They have a longer chemistry than we do. They have like a longer. Their 3 versus our 3 have a longer time playing with each other than we do.
Yeah, I said in the last time in the preseason that I had them ranked pretty low, but I would not be surprised if they had a good start because they have that built-in chemistry and preseason Zeg.
It's all as long as they keep continuing forward, they have a shot. The issue becomes
they're as good as they're gonna want to put the time and effort into being.
Yeah,
I can very easily see this team going all 4 of them. They could all go negative. I wouldn't be surprised. I would actually expect by the end of it probably 3 of them to be negative on the season.
Yeah, if every team put an effort for custom and stuff like that, I think this league is super. The issue becomes when teams don't. Or players don't. You hurt your teams way more than.
Well, and I haven't seen Regressors team in there at all.
Same thing like that.
Same thing with team is
same
pretty
way,
slow. Silver team. Do we see them getting in customs?
Sket's spot on my list. I was ready to put a tone right there, or even someone like Beam, but I favored someone whose team has been successful thus far because I know he's playing a big part in it.
Yeah, my list had honorable mentions of Cannon, Doer, Alpha. They were all players that could have been slotted in that 25 slot, and even some of these, I would say 20 to 25. They're not real solid spot-wise. Like I said, we did this in 20 minutes. We did this very unprepared. I'm like, we need a third thing to talk about the E-time. Do a top 25 list, and we'll talk about it. So we'll do another one of these at the end of the season, just to show growth of players and who made it in and who kept in and who did what.
I think a middle of the season top 25 would be another one.
We could do that too.
Let's do it after teams are 12 games in.
12 games in, and then we'll do one before the ship, or
before playoffs, and then we'll do one in before the ship. That way, we can, in case someone blows up in playoffs and starts, because it always happens sooner or later. Someone goes off in playoffs and ranks themselves higher, or puts themselves higher.
Right. But like I was saying, if you didn't make the list, don't be too upset. You still have time. Yeah, get butthurt. Make your own list. Yell at us. I don't care.
Do skit thing. Make a podcast.
Yeah. Make another podcast. The more content, the better. Honestly, I wish we would have thought about this a little earlier. Had a nice write up for every player. Not that it really matters because we're talking about it, but we can't really release it on the outside, so you have to listen to the podcast to see it.
We're just double dipping. We're being smart.
Yeah.
We can do like a handful of player spotlights or something. We can do some and on a smaller scale as opposed to like a whole list. That can be done outside the podcast.
I think we should do our top something like our top 5 or top 10 that we've already put there.
Yeah.
Or edit it a little bit and then give it like a write up of what we expect.
Yeah. And again, that'll come with time. We'll see how players develop this season. I don't expect Nihilus to stay this low if he keeps playing this well on a lot of our lists. I don't expect Sket to stay at 25 if he keeps playing better. So there's a lot of room for improvement, and especially on Sab's ranking on my list, I think he can definitely shoot up. Made that mistake, but
yeah, overall, I can easily move up a star. Regressor can make his way back up. Saints definitely should be going up by next time we do this.
Overall, though, we had very, very similar top 25 players, only interchanging 1 or 2 people between our lists. Like, I think I had a Tone, you guys didn't. You guys had Doer, I didn't. You guys had Cannon, I didn't.
I mean, at that bottom end, I don't want to say bottom end because it's still top 25, but at that ending of that list, it's just kind of like, you can put
pick your poison.
Yeah.
I think our top 20s were pretty damn similar.
Consistent.
Yeah.
And if that, like, again, we only had 20 minutes, so still make a case for Cannon.
Your mic's cutting out again. Not that it really matters. We're at the end of the podcast. We get your point. Thanks for listening. Again, we need some stuff to talk about, so go ahead and message me or Rage. That way we can have some topics that we don't have to come up with by ourselves at the last second here. Things that you want to hear about, because we'll give our honest opinions on everything. Saves us time, too, if we have them pretty early and often. We constantly share them in our group chat so that we know what to think about when we come and talk about these things on the weekends. So, again, let us know if you want to be on the podcast. I know I had Priest reach out to me and tell me that he would want to do a segment, talk about his team, talk about where we rank them, and how they're doing, and if he would do anything differently than the draft. So we might make a little segment for him next podcast. Tell us if you want to do something similar. We'd like to hear about how you feel about your team and things you would have done different. So,
or if you want to talk shit about another team.
Absolutely. Yep. We're all about the shit talk and just getting your feelings out there. You know what I mean? Tell us what you think.
Want to have fun? Let's have fun.
Yeah. Talk shit. Have fun with Mikeinator. Thanks for listening. We will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Later.
I love you.
Awkward.